So this one right here, this is Helene. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Helene. And compared to Milton, this looks like a baby. Look at the picture of Helene. All right, play with matches here on a very serious topic as we are in the middle of Hurricane Milton. And
well, we're not, thank God.
Thank God. But I mean, we, as in the collective we of people who love the United States and live in the United States. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to compare aerial photographs of some of the largest hurricanes when they made landfall and compare them to Milton, just because I was looking for that personally. I'm like, all right, what are
we looking at here?
Yeah, like what does it look like from the top? Let's compare it to Katrina, so on and so forth. And my beautiful research assistant here was able to find some incredible photographs. And, so we're going to be looking at these and which ones are which. That one right there was Hurricane Helene that we obviously know had
just hit
devastating
12 days ago or something.
Is it, I mean, honestly, is it not unbelievable to think about the fact that the hurricane that happened a week ago literally erased a geographic area the size of Belgium off the map in North Carolina? Did I show you that video?
No, but it's wild, and where it hit is super strange too. Yeah, I have a friend who's on the coast there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And she's like, it did not touch us.
Yeah.
It hit the mountains, which is weird.
I'm also just going to throw this out there, which is I did a video that I just uploaded on my main channel, Jesse on Fire, about Bill Gates and George Soros and their open investment in weather control technology. And we're talking like some of the stuff I found was from 8 years ago, then 6 years ago, then 4 years ago, 3, 2, 1. Like, this is not a thing that they have not been laser focused on forever. And I don't know about you, but like, have you been curious? You know what? Actually, let's not lose the people who are here to watch, look at the pictures. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. You know, we're building hard. You know what I mean? Trying hard. All right. So let's go through some images that'll kind of put some of this in perspective. So this is a picture right here. Like, these are just like some iconic photos. Look at this one, dude. Look at, I mean, like,
that one's nuts.
Just that picture, like that image right there. Like when you see like a really large hurricane is bananas. Like
hurricanes are like, tornadoes are scary. Hurricanes are petrifying.
It's so crazy that this happens. Look at Hurricane Isabel. Like look at that, dude.
She was a beast.
Yeah. And I definitely keep in mind when we get done looking at these, I definitely want to talk about hurricanes and weather control because I learned a bunch about it and how, you know, you could anyway.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about it. But so you got these. Let's start right here. All right. So this is an image of Hurricane Helene.
That we just saw. That we just saw 2 weeks ago.
This is the one that went up the coast from here. Obviously, you can see underneath there. That's what the. You're not on our show.
From?
Okay, relax. Ooh, actually, let's watch this. Hold on, guys. Let's actually watch this real quick. This, I believe, is from Hurricane Sandy. Let me bring us back up. Oops, not that one. Let's bring this back up. So I had an audio problem on this next portion, but we watched a video and found out that there were 4 hurricanes that hit the exact same area in 2004. Well, 2 hit the exact same area in Florida, and there were 2 others within a short period of time. Audio's messed up. I had to edit this in afterward, but this is what we're responding to.
I was thinking, was 2004 an election year? It certainly was. Wasn't it? Yeah.
It absolutely was. And
so either
2004
there are things at play, or God's like, knock it off.
2004, really? Mm-hmm. And who got elected in 2004 again?
It was right before Obama.
Oh no, you know. Think.
Bush. Yeah, senior.
And who's on the same, like, people think, oh, a Republican got elected. Hello, how many times have we been saying this, guys? Republicans and Democrats, that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
You have whoever Dick Cheney's team is.
Dick Cheney versus everyone else.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he is the indicative of what we are talking about when we're like, do you guys understand how important it is that these guys, you know what I mean? Like, the Dick Cheney team, who is clearly on the other side of that guy, right? Yeah. And so in 2004... that happened.
Yep. Pretty wild.
Anyway, but here you go.
Swing state of Florida.
Yeah. And then that's how they ended up winning too. But, oh wait, was that
I think that was 04? Obama.
No. 04. Al Gore was 04, right?
I don't know.
Who did, like, cause that was when they had, like,
Who
Oops.
were the presidential candidates? This is
Who ran versus Bush?
There you go.
It was John Kerry.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy.
Okay, so that was it was 2000 when it was Al Gore.
Okay.
Who incidentally brought us an inconvenient truth about global warming and how this is all going to start happening and blah blah blah.
And
anyway.
here we are.
Okay, so this is Hurricane Helene, like we said. Now, check this out. This is Hurricane Ian.
Ian was something else.
Look at the size of that hurricane over
huge.
Florida, dude.
You can't see Florida.
You can't see. I mean, you can see just the very bottom of it right there.
Yeah.
That is absolutely wild. Now, look at this one. This is Katrina. Katrina, just because, you know what's crazy is like,
It was a storm surge.
Look at how hard it's spinning, dude.
Yeah.
You know, like what's wild about Katrina is everybody thinks of this as the be all end all of destructive hurricanes. But the reality is it wasn't the biggest, it's where it hit. And like, cause the like Louisiana and like I watched this whole thing on them last night. That section where where Louisiana and Texas meet in the Gulf, like I don't understand how anybody feels comfortable living there. It's like this happen anytime a hurricane hits there. It's going to happen. It's like, and if you've ever been to New Orleans, have you been to New Orleans?
No, and I really want to go. I know.
First of all, it's amazing.
I want to go.
It's just amazing enough that it kind of like comes into the conversation of what I was about to say, which is I don't understand anybody who lives there. It's so bizarre. Like, you know the way that when you go to the beach in Santa Barbara and you're on the beach and it looks like
it's flat.
It's flat.
Yeah.
It's like that, but like different. Like you're looking at it like, you know, and I'm talking downtown Louisiana, New Orleans, kind of looking out at the harbor and you're like, I've never seen water at this level. You don't really, it's like you don't think about the fact that you always have to go down to water.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Until you're there and you don't need to go down to water.
Like the whole city is at sea level.
It's just right there. And you're kind of looking, you're like, it makes it so pretty, you know? You're like, in your brain, you're like, that's not the way it normally is.
You think about like the LA beaches and there's always like a hill you drive
always
down.
Walk down.
Or you walk
always.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you know, in Santa Barbara, you go down a cliff and then you get to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, the destruction there was unbelievable. Then, so this is Hurricane Milton. And have a gander.
He's looking pretty huge.
Have a gander at that, dude. Right? And I believe this is actually before, I don't know if this is, hang on, I'm not even sure if this became, because I think this is before it's over open water and became a Category 5.
I mean, it's over open water right there, but.
Yeah, but I think this is where it really sped up right here, because when it got over, then it became this might be Category 5, I'm not sure. I mean, look at the central part right there. That is like the size of all of Florida, and look at how dense it is.
It's crazy.
So I'm going to give a shout out to my buddy, Brian Chumbler, who lives in an area that's like, he just actually texted me, but it's like, he actually sent me a map to show me exactly where it was because he's staying and he showed me his backyard.
I don't like it, Brian.
I don't like it either. But, and a lot of people on his street,
are staying.
Are left.
Oh,
like a lot of them left, but then he's a fucking Marine. You know, he's like literally that's his answer. He's like, I'm a fucking Marine. I'm not leaving my house. And there's another Marine on his street who's like older than him. That's a grizzled old fucking gangster. And he's like, we're staying, dude. Now, in fairness, it's like, he's like,
they're at elevation.
They're like 60 feet or something like that, elevated above, but there is water below, like they're on, it's a beautiful property.
Like an inlet.
Yeah. He said to me just to show me his backyard. And I was saying to Gabrielle, I'm like, let's fucking move out there if it doesn't get destroyed. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's pretty far north, obviously, of Tampa. Like, I think it's 30 miles or something. But
and it did just shift more south.
It did a little bit. But just look at the size of this. Just look at the size of it, man.
It's crazy.
It is fucking bananas. And then, so if you look here, this one is, oops. Why do they always do that to me?
What? Pop-ups?
Like, whenever I go to a page I'm not quite looking at yet, like, once I pull it up, that's when the pop-up happens. This was the picture, though, of all of them, where I was like, Sandy, oh, my God.
Sandy was huge.
This is Sandy. And obviously, Sandy was unbelievable. Okay, so the death toll.
And not supposed to be up there, right? Like, isn't it? I
I don't know, but let's okay. So the death toll from Sandy was 149. As of November 1st, was 149. The combined deaths included 42 in New York, 12 in New Jersey, 9 in Maryland. Dude, you know how many people they must have evacuated New Jersey for it to have only been 12?
Yeah.
Because New Jersey got murked. Jersey Shore got eviscerated.
Gone, right?
Yeah. And that was crazy too, because everybody had like watched Jersey Shore. And so it's like everybody kind of had an idea of what that area looked like. Yeah. And then so you look and it's underwater. It's underwater. And then everybody watched, oh my God.
What?
Oh my God. Who's the most iconic little shrimp character from Jersey Shore? The girl.
Oh, Snooki?
Wow. Snooki and JWoww went to their old properties. I saw after that, and they had just been completely underwater.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Like, you know, you think of like 20 years as like a really long time, you know, like 20 years.
Yeah.
Very long time. So like you move into a house, everything is as it has been forever for that entire time. And then boom, something like this happens and you don't realize like you have been in crazy danger this whole time and just not been totally oblivious because 20 years in the grand scheme is nothing.
Right.
You know, or 50 years or 60 years or whatever. And if you think about that in terms of like the real grand scheme of things as it relates to things like asteroids, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you're like, all of us are just like, Leela Lou. We're like, what are you worried about today? I'm like, YouTube is suppressing my content because I talked about this guy too much.
There's rocks flying at us through space.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wait, so you're finding things to complain about? What's your job? I create videos. They're all, what's your dream? It's like to create videos and make a living. You making good money? It's like pretty much as much money as, I mean, we're making more money than we've ever made. It's like, there are asteroids coming at Earth.
It's fine.
Shut up, Jesse on Fire. Calm your brain down, you fucking idiot. It's good to keep things in perspective sometimes. You know what I mean?
It's crazy though.
Yeah. Gabrielle's.
My mom just texted me about my uncle, but they're on the other side. They're like just north of Miami.
Dude, I wouldn't feel comfortable being anywhere in Florida right now. In terms of like, are we 100% sure that we're cool? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're coastal, right?
They are.
Dude, I gotta text Katie. What am I doing?
But they're gonna get like winds, but they're not gonna get hurricane down there. They're safe. Horrifying.
Yeah.
But they're safe.
I mean, I'm trying to think. So I gotta text Jeff. Dude, I got a lot of people down there, man.
I know.
This is a wild situation. And so like, look at this. Look at this picture of Hurricane Milton. Look at that thing.
It's insane.
Man, dude. So I've been paying attention to the live feed from Florida this whole time. And, one thing that they check on a lot, or like, they have all these cameras. They obviously have the beach. They got the boardwalk. They got whatever. Are the freeways. Yeah. And like the freeways were jammed.
Oh,
right?
They like opened up the shoulder as an extra lane.
There is not a fucking person on the freeway right now. No one. They are like.
That's good. So people could get out if they're.
I guess, yeah. But it's like,
I do have to say, it appears, not being there, that they did a really good job with advanced warning, calling the evacuation early, getting out as many people as possible that wanted to leave, but there's people that are just Floridians and they're like, nope, we're not leaving. Brian. But I have several friends that are staying. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy. But
his kids are grown too.
Yeah. But it looks like they did a really, really good job managing the evacuation from the outside view.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you hear that Kamala Harris, fucking unbelievable. Kamala Harris went down and started trying to call DeSantis and he won't take her calls. He's like,
what are you going to do, bitch?
Yeah. Like, he's like, you think I'm going to let, and then she had the audacity to do a press thing where she's like, this is not the time to be talking politics, make a disaster about politics. You're all.
Then shut up.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Right?
Exactly.
It's like, oh, well, he's not taking our phone calls. Like,
he's busy.
He's busy doing things to try to save lives. If you want to talk to him after the hurricane, fine. Right. What are you going to do right now?
Exactly.
Who's making a political thing about this? You hypocrite liar. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I do not like her.
And like, but that's what, and then they showed all these liberals on TikTok who are in Florida who are like, why is he doing this? Why won't he take their phone calls?
What do they think that she's gonna do?
Dude, this is exactly what it's like to watch politics from my perspective all the time. It's like, dude, she is doing exactly what she's pretending he's doing. He's the governor of the state. Yeah. She cannot do anything right now. Is she going to deploy federal resources to make seawalls higher to get people out of their homes? Right now, the state is on it as best they can be. And I've been watching DeSantis. He's been fucking on it, dude.
He's great. I love that guy.
He's opening up the shoulders on the freeways. He's telling people, like, do whatever you have to do to get out of there. Yeah. He's like, we're going to, we're telling you straight up, we are not going to be able to help you if this. He's telling them everything that they can do. Kamala Harris comes in and is like, he won't take my phone call. He's making this political. Wow. You fucking gaslighting liar. Yeah. You gaslighting fucking liar. You're doing that. And then riling up these TikTokers who are crying. Literally, I saw a woman crying. Like, but in fairness, listen, like, if you live in a world where you have decided my team's the good guys, the other guys are the bad guys, which I think they're confused, but I don't have any anger towards a person like that who really believes that. But it's like, so you have literally turned her against her state government to make it seem like something's going to happen. It's going to be his fault. Why?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the weather. Okay. You can't control it unless you're George Soros or Bill Gates or DARPA or, whoever's actually doing this, right? Dude, could you take your boat like 2 days ago and just roll it up the coast? Be like,
yeah. Assuming you can find a slip for it, but.
Oh my God. Okay. This is what I was saying. Like, you look at a property like this. Do you know this is a dream house? When we were looking at moving to Florida, this was the dream of where we would live. And imagine living in a place like that, paradise, and you're looking at it now knowing this is gone because this is gone.
You're packing up your most valuable things, leaving, knowing that it's not going to be there when you get back.
Your home is going to catch fire and burn down in 3 days, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And that's why when you hear these stories about Kamala Harris calling the governor yesterday and then going on camera, he won't take my phone calls. It's not the time to make politics out of a disaster. This is a disaster. It's not time for politics. Question: what are you going to do that's going to lead to saving lives right now? Politics comes afterwards. What are you going to do to help with federal resources, with the cleanup and helping people who are jammed up? That's when politics comes in. Right now, unless you have federal resources you're going to allocate towards Florida that are going to save lives, then don't bother him with phone calls because you can't help. You're the one making it into a political thing.
Yeah. I guess Colorado's deploying a bunch of their firefighters and stuff. Brittany's husband, volunteer firefighter, he's like all bummed that he's not going to go. But I mean, other than sending people to help, but how many people do you really want to send in there, right? We're trying to get people out. That's
an excellent point. It's a danger zone.
Yeah.
Like, people who go here now are going to die.
Yeah.
So you're not deploying any people. It's not enough time to use any of your resources to like build up defenses against water. Like, there's nothing you can do right now. Nothing if you're the federal government. So what? And honestly, why are you not talking to North Carolina? You want to make some phone calls? Why don't you call the governor of North Carolina? Tell him what you're going to do there. Because all I've heard there is that FEMA has no money because you guys spent $1 billion on the migrant crisis that you created. How is that not the number one story in America? You know what I mean? Yeah, you saw that, right?
No, but
Mayorkas, the guy who runs the entire department that oversees FEMA, he said FEMA cannot afford to respond to Helene. We're not even talking about Milton. Helene, because it doesn't have enough money. And they spent $1 billion on the migrant crisis. Why don't you just, you better hope that the election doesn't happen, because given that story right now, you can't help Americans whose lives are destroyed because you spent the money on the migrants. Do you really think that the administration right now is going to be able to withstand that going into an election? Because if they can, then this is rigged and people are so stupid that it's kind of unfathomable.
Agreed.
Man, dude, this is so infuriating. All right, we're going to cut it off on this one. Obviously, praying for everybody in Florida or in any other affected area. That's it for us.
We'll see you next time. Stay safe, Florida.